In a quiet village nestled between two rival kingdoms, a mysterious beauty lived among the people. Her name was Aira. No one knew where she came from, not even Aira herself. She was raised by a kind herbalist woman named Mama Nia, who found her as a fragile infant abandoned by the roadside over 2 decades ago. Mama Nia raised her as her own daughter, shielding her from the cruelty of the world and hiding her most unusual gift. Aira danced in her sleep. Each night, like a spell cast from the moonlight, her body moved gracefully, as though the spirits of the ancestors guided her. But no one ever saw it. Mama Nia kept it secret, fearing what people would say. Aira grew into a vision of elegance and beauty. Her skin glowed like sun-kissed bronze. The maidens of the village, though courteous on the surface, burned with jealousy. They often whispered behind her back, mocking her soft demeanour, never imagining the fire that danced within her soul. To them she was an outsider, beautiful but ordinary. One fateful season, drums echoed through the land, as word spread that Prince Kamari of the neighbouring kingdom would visit in search of a bride. A grand dancing competition was declared, for the prince desired not just beauty, but grace and soul in movement. The entire village buzzed with excitement and preparation. The maidens adorned themselves in colours of gold and fire, each determined to win the prince's heart. Mama Nia hesitated, but Aira, for reasons she couldn't explain, felt drawn to the call of the drums. That night, under the glow of the full moon, Aira danced before the prince and the crowd. Her waist moved like water, her feet whispered stories of a past she never knew, and her body spoke a language only the stars could understand. The village fell silent in awe, and Prince Kamari, transfixed, felt his heart surrender to her magic. He chose her, not just as the winner of the dance, but as the woman he wanted to marry. It was then, as preparations for the royal union began, that Mama Nia's heart grew heavy. The night before the engagement ceremony, she knelt before Aira and wept. With trembling hands she revealed a truth she had hidden for 23 years. Aira was not her daughter by blood. She was the lost princess of the neighbouring kingdom, stolen from the arms of her mother on the day she was born. Years ago, Mama Nia had travelled with a friend to cook for the king's festival in that same kingdom. There, in the throne room, she had seen a faded picture of a newborn princess. A wave of recognition struck her, but fear kept her silent. The baby she had raised bore the same birthmark, the same eyes. She feared the king would accuse her of theft, so she carried the truth in her heart until now. Aira's world shattered in silence. She was royalty, a missing piece of her bloodline's heart, thrown away because the kidnappers believed she would not survive. But fate had other plans. Word reached the kingdom of her miraculous return, and Aira was reunited with her birth parents. Tears flowed freely as mother and daughter embraced, lost time wrapped in trembling arms. The king, overjoyed, rewarded Mama Nia, calling her a guardian chosen by the spirits, but the truth had more venom yet to pour. A sick and dying King Prince, Kamari's father summoned the royal court. With failing breath he confessed the dark past. Out of revenge and heartbreak, he had ordered the theft of the newborn princess. Her father had married the woman he once loved, and rage consumed his heart. He instructed his men to steal all the newborns from the hospital that night. But when they saw Aira, so small and weak, they left her to die on the roadside. He raised the others as servants in his palace, never knowing the child he discarded would one day captivate his own son. Aira was shattered. The man she had fallen in love with, the prince whose heart beat for hers, was the son of the Minyan who tried to erase her life before it began. When Kamari came to her with trembling hands and soft eyes, she turned away. "How can marry into a legacy that almost ended mine?" she whispered, her voice breaking like dry leaves in the wind. Kamari tried to speak, but Aira vanished into the corridors of the palace. Nights passed. The kingdom rejoiced, yet Aira's heart grieved. She returned to her old room, the one Mamma Nia had kept for her. In sleep, her body danced once more, but this time her heart was heavy. Her dreams were haunted by Kamari's face, the warmth of his hands, the honesty in his eyes. Her soul betrayed her mind, yearning for the man whose love had been real, no matter his bloodline. One night, as the wind howled softly through the trees, Aira dreamed again. She stood under the stars, alone in the fields where she first danced for Kamari. Her heart beat louder, faster. She could see him in the distance, calling her name. Her body moved without her will, swaying like it always did in her dreams. Her lips parted, and from the depths of her soul she screamed his name. Kamari! The sound echoed through the night, carried by the wind, touching even the walls of the prince's distant palace. Unseen, unknown to Aira, Kamari stood outside, drawn to her like a moth to flame. He heard her call, and in that moment he knew some destinies cannot be broken by blood, only strengthened by it. And somewhere in the night the drums began to beat again, not for war, not for sorrow, but for love reborn.